Namaskaram. Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, Sankhya Yoga, 67th sloka. Lord Krishna spoke on intellect in the previous slokas, how to control sense organs, and what happens to those who control sense organs, and how the life is for those who do not control the sense organs. So that in the previous sloka he explained about the people who do not get the knowledge of soul. In this sloka, in 67th sloka, he says, one who cannot control, one is not able to control the sense organs, is carried away by the sense objects in all directions. That is, this is like how a boat is carried away from its regular path by the wind. The wind blows heavily and the strong wind sweeps the boat off its chartered course on the water. So this is what happens to us. Even one of the senses on which the mind focuses can lead the intellect astray. So our intellect is covered. We are not able to get any alertness from our intellect when you go wrong, because intellect is completely clouded. So our mind is carried away by the sense organs, the objects of sense organs. So it is like a boat carried away by the strong wind. So earlier slokas he compared with tortoise. How tortoise withdraws the limbs and head inside its shell when there is danger. So we should be like that, control our sense organs. We should withdraw the sense organs from all unwanted things. Now in this sloka he compares with a boat which is carried away by the wind. In the previous sloka, how a bee gets into flower. So the bee did not have the time consciousness. So it was carried away by the nectar and it got into that and it was closed by the petals and finally it died. So through this sloka, Lord Krishna tells us how to control sense organs. So when you say sense organs, it is eyes, nose, tongue. So all this, the 5 sense organs. So when you say, in Tamil we say mei, that is body. That what happens? That the sense of touch. So that leads to unwanted contacts. Then the mouth, it speaks unwanted things. What is to be spoken, we don't. What is not to be spoken, we speak and get into all problems. Because we have no control over our tongue. So there is no alertness within ourselves. So we talk what all comes to our mind. So there is no barrier, nothing to controls, nothing to segregate. This should not be spoken. Only this should be spoken. So that is a problem. Then eyes see all unwanted things. For example, nowadays we find videos which are all found on all the cell phones and other gadgets, not good for our good life, not good for our healthy habits. So how they take us to wrong side. Then ears are meant for hearing the pastimes of God, is divine qualities of God, but we hear all unwanted things. Then nostril should smell the fragrance of objects which are after offering to the God. But how do we behave? We behave like the bee which went after the nectar. So it went into the flower, it caught itself into the flower, and finally it died. So we should know how to control. Once we control all our sense organs through devotion, through service, we become devotees. So when you become devotees, you become a good citizen. So you are a good human being. First you turn to be good human being by controlling all your sense organs, and with that you are adding devotion, adding service. So when you are doing service to God, you are doing service to devotees, and when you are doing service to devotees, you are serving the society. So a good human being is a good citizen. So this is how we elevate ourselves and reach the higher position. So our position, our goal is attaining moksha. So Lord Krishna tells us how to go up step by step. By following all that, you reach the highest elevation, that is moksha. So this sloka tells us how to control our sense organs. When you control our sense organs, only your intellect is alive. Otherwise, intellect if you don't control, that makes intellect astray. So even you don't get any alertness within yourselves. So that is a problem. When you do something wrong, sometimes we say, our consciousness says, I have something, my inner voice says, no, don't do. That is what we say, Atma Jnanam. So when do you realize that? When you control your sense organs and you divert your attention towards God and pay true devotion to God. So with that you realize the Atma, the soul. If you go after these sense objects, it is like the hunter showing a female elephant. The male elephant is taken by hunter. So finally he kills that elephant. So without knowing that, the male elephant follows the hunter, thinking that he is following the female elephant. And when fishermen, when they do fishing, what do? They attach the food items in the bait, and the fish come to that and thinking that it will get the food, but it becomes the food of somebody. So this is what happens. So when you go after sensual objects, and we think that gives permanent pleasure, but it is not so. So to realize that, we should follow what is taught by Lord Krishna. So here Lord Krishna teaches us. This is very important for us to lead our life, because in our life we get so many things which tempt us, which make us attract towards them. But how to keep ourselves away from them? Only by controlling senses. How to control senses? By keeping the thoughts of God in our mind. So you are feeding your intellect the divine knowledge, spiritual knowledge. So that protects us. In 68th sloka, Lord Krishna addresses Arjuna as, O mighty armed Arjuna, one who has restrained the senses from their objects is firmly established in transcendental knowledge. So he gets that knowledge because he is controlling his senses from their objects. So here we find the person who is away from all this. Who can be away from all this? God says, one who has got steady mind. Sthita Prajnan. Why is Sthita Prajnan? Because he is able to control his mind. He can remain himself away from that. So when you are away from that, naturally, that enlightened soul, you are controlling your senses and you are following the scriptures. So naturally, you become an enlightened soul. So enlightened soul controls the intellect through transcendental knowledge. Then with purified intellect, we can control our mind. That is very important, how intellect controls our mind. So when intellect is purified, we control our mind. And the mind is used to bridle the senses. So it has control over the senses. So we are protected from that. We are not like ship going or carried away by ship, because we know where to go, how to go, and what to do. So we have control over our mind because of purified intellect. So this is possible by practicing Swadharma with devotion. So that is what here Arjuna is told by Krishna. Do your duty, and do the duty as if you are instructed by Lord Bhagavan. So think like that and do your Swadharma. Get up and you fight. That has been assigned to you by Bhagavan. So you take in that way, that is Karma Yogi. Do like it as Karma Yogi. So the material objects take us down. So if Arjuna does not fight, he loses his name, he loses his fame, people will talk ill of him. So his position in the society will be brought down. So this is what happens to us. If you go after the sensual objects, what happens? We move away from our disciplined life. So naturally our behavior will be different. So that will be reflected on how we conduct ourselves. So that will take us down. So Lord Krishna is explaining how you are to be. So how to remain with good name in the society. So the senses pull the mind in their direction. That is very dangerous. So the mind overpowers the intellect, and the intellect gets derailed from the direction of the true welfare. So we are completely moving away from good path. The good path is shown in the spiritual world. Through spiritual knowledge, we know that we can get it, but if you don't control your mind, then what happens? It is taken away from that path. So naturally we are going down in our life. So Lord Krishna says that if intellect is purified by spiritual knowledge, then the senses will be restrained. And when senses are held in check, that is, that there is alertness within ourselves. So that will control, that will tell us, yes, you are going in the wrong path, don't do that. That intellect, if we don't follow that intellect will not be swayed from the path of divine wisdom. So if we control our senses, so our intellect controls our mind, so we will not be carried away from the good path. That is what Lord Krishna says, that intellect will not be swayed from the path of divine wisdom. So this message is very, very, very useful for us to lead everyday's life, because we have so many temptations around us. So we will not get attracted. This tells us how to remain in good companionship. That is very, very important, because the fundamental problem with us is we get into wrong companionship. So that takes us to all this. So we have to be alert in with whom we are. Are we in good companionship? So what gives us that alertness? Only the intellect. So the intellect has to be in a very purified form. How can it be in purified form? Only by controlling sense organs and putting devotion with that. So we can achieve this. God explains the position of Sthita Prajnan, this Jnani. What all beings consider as day in night of ignorance for the wise, and what all creatures see as night is the day for introspective sage. That is, the sage is awake when we people are after the material happiness. So we search for material happiness. So what happens? We think that we are in day, but it is not in day. We are in ignorance. So that ignorance is considered as night. Whereas the jnani or sthita prajnan, he keeps himself awake and he is in search of Brahma. So he is awake. So as far as he is concerned, it is day for him. So this is what Lord Krishna says in this. When it is night for the other people like us, all the creatures, and it is day for Sthita Prajnan, because he is maintaining that equanimity. So he treats everything equally, both joy and sorrow, or victory and defeat. He is not getting affected by either one of this, whether it's joy or sorrow. He keeps everything equally. So he is maintaining that equanimity and he is awake. So he is in search of Parabrahma. So that is day for him. Whereas we are going after the material happiness, and we can, that is not, we think that is a day, but it is not. So we are in the darkness. So this is what very clearly, beautifully explained by Lord Krishna in this sloka. And it is for jnani, for sthita prajnan, it is timeless, because he doesn't sleep. So there is no night for him, because he is always in search of Parabrahma. Whereas we are always in search of material. We are for material, so we are going after that. So what happens? We don't have that knowledge about soul. So that is darkness for us. So that is night. For sage, he is in the process of searching. So he is awake. So that is day for him. So it is very beautifully explained by Lord Krishna in this sloka. And there is one pasuram here. So if intellect is purified by spiritual knowledge, senses will be restrained. When senses are under our control, intellect will not sway. This is the main main message we get from this sloka, all the three slokas. And with beautiful comparisons, Lord Krishna explains all the three. Then this is one of the pasurams by Bhudattalvar. இனிதென்பர் காமம் அதனிலும் ஆற்ற இனிதென்பர் தண்ணீரும் எந்தாய் இனிதென்று காமநீர் வேளாது நின் பெருமை வெட்பரேல் சேம நீராகும் சிறிது. People say passion is sweet, but water is sweeter. Oh Father, if people do not want passion or water and only listen to your heroism, that will be the water that protects them. So this is the meaning of that pasuram. So we understand how we are protected by holding the golden feet of Sriman Narayana. Let us chant his namas always. Let us have his thoughts in our mind, so that helps us to control all the sense organs.